Answered my husband's phone, and a woman whispered, "I love you." At first, my heart stopped, frozen in disbelief. But when I recognized the voice, my entire world tilted on its axis. It wasn't just any woman, it was my sister. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. My hand trembled as the phone nearly slipped from my grasp. I wanted to believe it was a mistake, that I misheard, that maybe my exhaustion was playing tricks on me. But her soft tone, the way she always spoke when confessing secrets, we had grown up sharing whispers in the dark. I knew her voice better than my own. I hung up without saying a word, my chest pounding. Questions roared in my head. How long had this been going on? Did they betray me together? Why her? I sat on the edge of the bed staring at the phone, waiting for it to ring again, but it stayed silent. That night, when my husband came home, I forced a smile, though my body burned with betrayal. He kissed me absent-mindedly on the forehead, muttering about work stress, and went to shower. I stood in the doorway watching the man I had promised forever to, wondering if every kiss, every embrace, had been laced with lies. The next day, I called my sister. My voice shook as I asked her casually about her week. She sounded normal, cheerful even, but I couldn't unhear the words she had whispered, "I love you." My stomach churned as I pretended to care about her errands while inside, I was dying. I needed proof. Over the next few days, I became a detective in my own home. I watched my husband more closely. His late nights, his secretive texts, the way he guarded his phone, all of it painted a picture I didn't want to see. And my sister, once my confidant, suddenly had excuses for not visiting me, even though we used to spend weekends together. The pain was unbearable, but I knew I couldn't confront them without evidence. I waited until one evening when my husband was in the shower. His phone lit up, and there it was, her name. My sister. My hands trembled as I opened the message. "Last night was unforgettable. I wish I could fall asleep in your arms every day." My vision blurred with tears. It was true. The people I loved most had betrayed me in the cruelest way. I wanted to scream, to destroy everything in sight, but instead I sank to the floor, shaking with grief. When he came out, I had wiped my tears and pretended to be asleep. But inside, a fire was building, a fire not of revenge, but of strength. The next weekend, I invited my sister over for dinner. My husband didn't suspect a thing. He smiled, oblivious, as we all sat at the table, pretending to be a happy family. My sister avoided my eyes, and I knew. I knew. After dinner, I asked her to stay behind while my husband went to get dessert from the kitchen. I looked straight at her and whispered, "I know everything." Her face went pale. She stammered, tried to deny it, but the guilt was written all over her. Tears streamed down her face as she begged me not to hate her. I listened, my heart breaking into pieces I could never put back together. My own sister, my blood, had stolen the one thing I thought was mine to cherish forever. When my husband returned, I didn't wait for excuses. I placed his phone on the table with their messages open. The silence was deafening. His face drained of color as he realized the game was over. He reached for me, pleading, but I stepped back. For the first time, I wasn't the fragile, forgiving woman he thought I was. "I gave you my trust," I said, my voice firm though my heart shattered. "You didn't just betray me, you destroyed the family we built. Both of you." That night, I packed his belongings into bags and left them by the door. My sister fled in tears, unable to face what she had done. And for the first time in years, I slept alone, but with a strange, empowering peace. The days that followed were brutal. I cried until my eyes were raw. My family was torn apart, and the two people I loved most were now strangers to me. But as the weeks turned into months, I discovered something I had forgotten, myself. I found strength in my solitude, in rebuilding a life without lies. I started taking long walks in the park, breathing in freedom I hadn't felt in years. I reconnected with friends I had drifted away from. I enrolled in a painting class, something I had always wanted to do but never had the time for. Slowly, I realized that I was not defined by betrayal, but by how I rose from it. My husband tried to come back, of course. With flowers, with apologies, with promises. My sister wrote me letters, begging for forgiveness. But trust, once shattered, cannot be glued back together. I chose peace over poison. I chose myself. And that's the message I carry to anyone who has felt the sting of betrayal. you are stronger than you think. Sometimes the people you love most will break your heart, but their betrayal is not your ending. It is the beginning of a new chapter, one where you've finally put yourself first. Because I answered my husband's phone, and a woman whispered, "I love you." And though it nearly destroyed me, it also set me free.